All right, good morning, everybody. Today is Daf Chavav, Maseches Rosh Hashanah. Another week or two. Looks like another 9 days, week and a half. All right, so we got to the Mishnah on the top of Chavav Amud Aleph. So the Mishnah over there says, Kol ha-shofros ksherim chutz mishofar. All shofars, all horns, blasts that we do on the holiday of Rosh Hashanah, they are kosher. You can use any of those horns except for that of a Mishal Parov, of a cow. And why is that? Because that is the Karen. It's not a shofar, it's a Karen. And we learned by Yovel, it mentions shofar. We learned Rosh Hashanah from Yovel, and therefore we need a shofar, and that's a Karen. I'm Rabbi Yossi, below call shofars nigu Karen. All shofars are called Karen. Shnamar b'meshech b'Karen haYovel. Excuse me. Pasuk in, is that Pasukim here? Yeah. 1 second.
So is that to say that?
1 second. And it looks like it's in Yoshua. Is it not in Yoshua?
No, it's in Yisro. It's whatever.
Yeah, no,
All
that's
right.
also B'shal Karen. That's by
Okay.
Yericho.
Oh, because it brings down the bottom.
That's by Yericho.
Because the pasuk on the bottom. Yeah. Okay, fine.
That's by Yericho.
Yeah, Yeshua Vav. Yeah. So
But is that to say that Rabbi Yossi would say that
So-
the
so-
horn of a cow would be
correct. So Rabbi Yossi is arguing, and he's saying that no, everything is. Why are you saying that para is no good? Everything is called a keren. So we have to see what let's see the Gemara. So the Gemara is going to go into what is this discussion, this back and forth between the Tanakama and Rabbi Yossi. So Zakt Gemara, Shapir Kama Rabbi Yossi. Rabbi Yossi is saying good, right? What he's saying is true. And that's what Rabbi Yossi is saying, that all shofars are called Karen. So what's the big deal that a par is called Karen? A Karen is a shofar, and you need a shofar, so it's all good. So my answer is Shapir Kama Rabbi Yossi, Avrabanan, Kol Shofar Sikru Shofar. All shofars are called shofar of Ikra Karen, and also they're called a shofar Karen. Depara, however, the horns of a cow, Karen Ikra, shofar lo Ikra. That's only called a Karen, it's not called a shofar. See, the pasuk says, Bechor Shoro, right? His Bechor is a Shor, Hadar Lo, the glory says, V'karni Re'im Karnov, right? And its horns of the Re'im are his horns. Just comparing to this is by the brachos. So it says over there, and it's the horns of a deer or re'im, of a similar type of animal, which is a solid type of a horn, and it's not something which is hollowed, right? The word shofar literally means a tube, right? It means a tube, so it's hollowed out, and that of a re'im is not hollowed out. So it's comparing it that of a cow to that of a re'im, which is not good for a shofar. So in other words, the pasuk is saying that this type of shofar is excluded because it's a keren and it's not considered to be shofar. Rabbi Yossi Melcha, the paranami shofar. No, it's also called. See, the pasuk says. So the pasuk over there says, it says the sitav laHashem mishor par. It says over there, and it'll be more pleasing, very good to Hashem, mishor from that of a mishor par. So im shor lama par, im par lama shor. Right? Is it a shor? Right? Is it an ox or a bull? Right? Which one is it? Is it a bull or an ox? So it says elamai shor par. Right? Mishofar. Right? From that, from better than a shofar. So now it's all said. Even from that by a par is also called a shofar, right?
Well, are they trying to say that shor par is a combined word of shofar? So
it means that even that of a par is a shofar. It's all
shor par.
right. The short part, right? So it's all one. If Rabbanan says no, could Rav Masna, Rav Masa, my short par wasn't a short par. Shu godol kapar. In other words, that it was what's it called? It was grown. It was the size of a that the shore, even a baby shore, that was the size of a par, right? And in terms of shor ben yomo, right, the shore of its day. And ulomar, really something completely else. The reason, according to that we don't use the para. So Ula says Rav Chisa, why does he not go inside into the big Kasher Garashim to do the avoda with his big days of Lafishain Kategor Nasasanigor, right? Because of the accuser, right, does not want to become the defender. In other words, because he's coming out and he's wearing something which gold right? Which reminds us, or not us, or which could remind that Kadosh Baruch Hu, right? The din of the Chet Egel, which was done with gold. So therefore, we don't want to bring gold into the Kodesh HaKodashim. So we don't want to bring gold, right? And similarly, we don't want to bring in that from a calf, right? A calf is a par, an egel, right? Which comes from there. I below, but ikadam par. I bring the blood of a par, right? So you bring the blood of a par. What's the difference? Why is that any different? So you study. You know, since it changes form, you're not bringing in the calf itself, or part of it. Rather, you're changing, you know, its blood. Right now, it's bringing its blood. Therefore, it's not as big of a deal as bringing an actual horn from the animal.
Yeah, you could say the same thing about the horn.
But the horn is still itself hasn't physically changed. It's still, you're right. It's still shaped. Va'ika Aron v'Kaperes v'Krub, right? With the different parts inside the Kodesh HaKodashim of the Aron, right, is made of gold, right? So Chayta Yaakov coming, we mean that the person who's offering shouldn't go ahead and bring in anything gold. Va'ika Kafa Machta, but he's bringing in a gold kalim. Chayta he's not coming. In other words, that which we say that he should basically wear it, that's what we're talking about. He shouldn't wear something that's gold, but he can bring in a spoon or something or ladle that's golden. Big days of mivachutz. He's bringing the big days of mivachutz. It's still reminding him. So we mean in the inside. So shofar now mivachutz. But the shofar is also blown on the outside. Where it's no cave, the zikaron who kibifning dami. Since it's broad as a zikaron, right, as a remembrance, right, to go ahead and to remind the Kadosh Baruch Hu that you know for a good year. Therefore, it's like kibifning dami. It's like it was done on the inside.
Wouldn't it be simpler to say because Yitzhak was passing around that Kedah?
Right.
It was an aisle which is there. So isn't that just a simple answer? Because you want to bring an aisle to remind us of
Well, aisle is a ram, right? So right, so that's the difference. It's almost a different animal. That's almost the argument. That's almost the argument that we should prefer to use only a ram and not use anything, you know, related to the cow family, to the cow family. But okay, but look at the Mishnah. Ula is saying the reason is because you're in, you know, category Sanigor. But the Mishnah doesn't say that. The Mishnah just says because you know, it's called a Karen, it's not called a Shover. So I have a Tanakh issue Karen Kamar. So there's Chad B'Yoid Kamar. So he says no, it's really two reasons. Really, this is the second reason. First of all, first of all, we don't want to go ahead and bring in anything related to the cow or to a calf on the inside because we don't want the accuser to become the defender. And also, second reason is because it's called the Karen, it's not called the Shofar. That what she says is called the category, and we don't want the category to become a sanigor. That's only if it takes place on the inside. So first of all, it's not a problem because the shofar is blown on the outside, so it's not a big deal. And and you're gonna say it's only par is only called the Karen. Called shofar is not you can Karen. All types of shofars are called the Karen, and therefore it's not a problem. So that was Uva. And Abai Yomar, Hainu Tamid Rabbanan, Shofar Rachman of Loy Shnaim V'Shleisha Shofars. It says one shofar. The shofar gadol, right? So it says one shofar, it should be blown and not two or three. And that was the way that the para works. I guess the new horn, it grows, I guess every year when it grows on the outside, it looks like it's layers. It doesn't look like it's one, it looks like it's layers. The para, the cave and the ikra, gildi, and since the para it grows by layers, right? There's shells over shells, therefore it looks like two or three shofars, multiple shofars, and not one. But the Mishnah says because it's called a Karen. So once again, why is Chad of Yoid Kamar, right? They're really given two reasons. Chad, first of all, the shofar, first of all, it should only be one horn and not two or three like that of a cow, right? Which is multiple shells. Furthermore, Neshu Karen, you're gonna say it's called the Karen, not called it's called the Karen, not a shofar. So Rabbi Yisrael to come out the shofar. So Rabbi Yisrael he'll answer to come out the shofar. First of all, it says shofar echad merachman avlei shnayim shlosh can be two or three shofars. The shofars cave in the mechabri adadi chadu. Right. First of all, since it's one, even though it might appear like multiple layers or multiple shells, it's still rice. It's still one. So therefore, it's not a problem. That's one shofar. It's not multiple shofars. The kamarta now, what you said, Karen, because it's called a Karen of a cow and not called anything else. Called shofar is not mikra Karen. All the shofars are all called Karen. Right. Now, my mashma, the high yuvla lishon the dichrahu. All right. So where do we see? Right, the pasuk says, "Mishach Karen HaYovel." So where do we see that the Yovel, right, is a reference to a ram, right? So how do we know that? So my Mashah Yuvla Lishon Dichrahu. So the Tanya learned by Amar Rabbi Akiva Kshalach Arabia, when he went to Arabia, you current the dichra yuvla. They used to call right dichras. They used to call rams yuvlas. So we see that it's called a yuvla. It's called a yovel. Furthermore, now we're going to play. Now we're going to bring other situations where we see the meanings of other words that were unknown. Used to call it nida galmuda. So my galmuda was the galmuda. So gamula hadam she's separated from her husband. They used to call ma, right, 1/6 of the coin, a dinar. They used to call it the kashitas. Lamai nafkamina. Ksita. Lamai nafkamina. The perushe to explain the pasuk of mea kasita, daraisa mea donkey. Right. So that was the pasuk says, right, that it was a 100 kasita. Right, so that was, and I'll tell you, that was basically 100 of donkey, which is a sixth, which is a ma. And Amar Rebbe Shalachti the Karchayam, when he went to Karchayam, Hayu Karin the Mechira, Kira, they used to call the Mechira sale Kira. So Lamai Nafkamina, so was the Lamafkin the Perush to explain the pasuk Asher Karisi Li, right, that it was sold to me, wasn't the covenant right Shakrisi, that it was sold. And Amr Shem Lakesh Kazachli Lechum Kain and the Sharia, right? So I guess he went to that area. So how you Karin Lekala Ninfi, Latarnagol Sechvi. They used to call a Kala Ninfi and a Tarnagol, right? A rooster, right? Sechvi. So the Kala Ninfi. So the Kala is called Ninfi Ma'ikra. What's the pasuk says? Yefei Nof Misas Kol Aretz, right? Yefei Nof the right, the beauty, right of a bride is Misas Kol Aretz, like the happiness of the land. The Tarnagol Sechvi and the Tarnagol Sechvi. So Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Rav, some say Rishon Levi Ma'ikra, as the pasuk says. So the pasuk says Mi Shas Batuchos Chachma. Omi nasan lasechvi vino, right? Who placed with the smooth ones, right? Chachma, right? Wisdom, and who gave sechvi vino, right? Understanding. So misas betucha chachma elu kalios, right? That is referring to the smooth ones, which is referring to the kidneys, right? And omite l'sechvi vino, who gave to the sechvi vino is the tarnagol. That's referring to the rooster because they know exactly when. Dawn is, even though it's still dark, they know when to start the cock-a-doodle doing, right? So therefore they know exactly when it is, and therefore there's a certain bina, there's a certain understanding of the nature of the world. Levi equal also one time Levi was in a certain place. Also Gavro the Kamisam came before and Amar Le, and he said to him, Kavan Planya. He said, Kavan Planya. So Plony was Kavan. So he was like, okay. So Lavi Yoda might come. He didn't know what he was talking about. Come on, let's also show Bebe Joshua. We came to the base Medrash. So he asked him, what did he mean when so and so was Kavan, right? So Amrulay says to them, Goslan Amrulay, they told you so and so, Plony stole from him. The pasuk says, "Haykel Adam Elokim," right? But can a man rob Hashem? So you see that he was talking about someone robbing. So Amalei Rav Mebarnish the Ravashi. He said, "Rav Mebarnish the Ravashi. If I was up there having me, what would I have done?" Right? So what would I have done over there? So I would have said to him, I would have said, "Heichi kavach, my kavach, right? How did he cover you? Which way did he cover you? Was there a reason why he covered you?" In other words, I would have basically used the word that he used, and basically from his answer, I would have understood that he stole from me, right? So I would have known it. So why did he do that? Maybe he was thinking that it was some sort of Arias type of Isser, and therefore he didn't want to hear any details. So he just walked away. Fine. So the law Havia done Rabbanamai Serugin. So the Rabbanan didn't know what the word Serugin was, right? Serugin is we learn that one reads the Megillah Serugin, in pieces, right? What'd you say?
Is it a couple like the TV show?
No. Serugin, yeah. So in terms of things that are not all as one. So Gemara answers. Right. So he says, I know you other Rabbi Serugin. So Shamil the Amsa the Rebbe. So one time he heard the Amsa, he heard the maid of Rebbe, the house of Rebbe. She saw that they were walking in slowly, right, a little bit at a time, not all together. She said to them, Serugin. How much longer you guys walk in there? Serugin, like piecemeal, not all together as one, but a little bit here, a little bit there. So that's what it means, Serugin. I'm sorry? In intervals. And lo avi other rabbanon my chaloglu. chalog logos, right? So they just know what that was. Pronounce it, right? It says over there by the Gemara by Zav eating these items. So Yom Echad, so they know what it was. Yom Echad Shemilam. So the Bei Rebbe one time the Amma once again of the Bei Rebbe the Chazis lahu gava the ka bevader par pachine. So she saw that certain person was eating he was I guess or not eating, he was mixing around, scattering around parpachine, which is purslane type of herb, right? And she said, right? So you see over there what the lashon is, this type of purslane, this type of herb. It is that was what the Gemara was referring to. And furthermore, Lavia the Rabbanamai salsalos romecha. She didn't. The rabbis didn't know salsala. All right. All right. From the pasuk over there, it doesn't bring this out. Pasuk Mishlei, right?
In Proverbs.
Proverbs and Mishlei, right? It says over there, basically one should be misalsal, right? And then he'll get the Torah through that way. What did it meant? So Yemechad Shemalam said the Bei Rebbe one time, the Am the Bei Rebbe, she'd have come she saw one of the people at the house, he was twirling his hair with his hand. How long are you going to be curling your hair, turning over your hair? So you see that it means that one goes ahead and turns over Torah. That's when Torah will uplift him. And Lavia the Rabbanan Mai Vite Teisiha the Mat Atia Hashmet. So it says over there, and the Rabban did not know what the shot of the pasuk was referring to I think to pay back Bavel for the Churban Abayis. So it says over there, it will be Tatei B'ma Tateya. So what it means, so Yemechad Shem Amsa the Bei Rebbe. As you guessed it, once again, they heard the Amsa of the Bei Rebbe. The Chavi, Amra the Chaveta, she was saying to one of her friends, Shakula Tatesa Vetati Besa. Go ahead and grab a broom and sweep up. So you see, it meant that they'll be swept away with the broom. And finally, so it says, what does it mean that you sent to Hashem your havech, and then he'll go ahead and sustain you? So one time he was walking by a certain Arab traveler, right, or a seller, and Havi Darina Tuna, and he was carrying a big bag. Go ahead and take your load and throw it on my camel. So you see over there, it means Yavech is your load, right? Go ahead and take your load and throw it on Hashem. Fine. Now Mishnah. So the Mishnah says, Shofar shel Rosh Hashanah, the shofar of Rosh Hashanah shel Yal Pashat is of a Yal Pashat, right? So a Yal is a wild goat, right? Type of goat that had a straight or horn, opiv, and its mouth, the where person would blow, mitzupa zav, was covered with gold, right?
That's not how he grows it.
Right, exactly. But they would do it special, right? So opiv, right? Shal mikdash come, there's the one that was born in the mikdash. Ushtei chatzos miatzad, and there are two chatzos. There are two type of trumpets on the sides. Shofar marich, and the shofar would go long. Of chatzos mekatzos, and the chatzos would be shorter. Shemitz hayom the shofar, because the mitzvah of the day was with the shofar. Ubatanios, and when they would have public fast, and they would go ahead and also sound the horns. So b'shel zecharim, they would go ahead and use shel zecharim. They would use male ones which are rounded. And the ends, the mouths were covered with silver. And the chatzos were in the middle, and the shofars were on the side. And shofar mekatz, and the shofar was shorter there. Chatzos marichos, and the chatzos were more marich, were longer. Because the mitzvah of the day was with the trumpets, and the main power was not with the shofar. And Shavel, Hayovel, Rosh Hashanah, the Tkiya, the Brachos. So the Yovel sent to Rosh Hashanah. When it comes to Tkiya, then there was the Tkiyas are similar
When did they blow shofar on Yom?
After Yom Kippur.
Starting,
By Yom Kippur, at 10 days in, after Yom Kippur, right? Or after Yom Kippur, I think.
No,
Motzi Yom is it on Yom Kippur or Motzi Yom Kippur?
Yom Kippur.
Yom Kippur, yeah. So.
No. It's not Yovel. It says you blow a shofar on Yovel.
Yeah.
Right, and then
on the 10th day, and then Yom Kippur.
every 50 years on Yom Kippur it's blown.
You blow anyways.
No,
No, you
no,
blow
that's
Hashanah.
exactly what
No, less.
No.
No, that's
They
after.
do a full set.
Right.
They do a full set like Rosh Hashanah.
Right. Fine. So, Shana L'Tkiya L'Brachos. So also for the brachos, as the Gemara will explain. And Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Rosh Hashanah Toikim Shel Zacharim. And Rabbi Yehuda seems to say in Rosh Hashanah we blow of Zacharim. Now Zacharim mentioned in our Mishnah of Kfufim. Those are the ones that were rounded. And B'Yevlas and on Yovel they were B'Shel Yael. Those were the Yael that we mentioned in the beginning. Those were the wild goats which had these straighter ones. So it seems to be that according to Rabbi Yehuda, Rosh Hashanah, they used the bent, and the Yovel there was a straight one. Let's see. So Amar Levi, mitzvah shel Rosh Hashanah v'shel Yom Kippur b'kfufim. The mitzvah on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippurim is of kfufim. They should be rounded. V'shel kol Hashanah. But however, throughout the year, no, it's like on a tinus, right? The pshutin, those would be with straighter ones. But Tanara Mishnah says it should be of that this go, which is, and those are straightened. So the answer is no. Who domer ki aitani? Yolde the Tanya. Rabbi Yehuda Omer Rosh Hashanah call how you take him shel zacharim kfufin v'yevels b'shel yael. Right. And Rosh Hashanah we would blow from something which was rounded, which was bent, and Yevel was straight. Maybe we said halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda. See, my halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda. If I thought said halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda, havimina feel shel Yevel. I would tell even of Yevel, it should be like him that it should be straight. Nami Rabbi Yehuda. Spherely. So Kamash Blan. So therefore we learn, but my commitment. So therefore Kamash Blan. That's not always like Rabbi Yehuda. That it's bent only in the case of that it's right. That it's bent in both cases, not only Rosh Hashanah but also on Yovel. So by commitment. So what's machlekes? So Mar said Rosh Hashanah kama techayv inshi daite tfei mali. So the more that a person goes ahead and basically bends his mind is more bent over, right? And Yom Adin, that's better. Yom Kippurim, Kama the Pashut Idish, the more that a person is straightened, that Daite Tfei, the more he straightens his mind, that's better. Umar Savar, and the other one holds, Rosh Hashanah, Kama the Pashut Idish, Daite Tfei. The more that one straightens his mind is better. Rosh Hashanah, Mali, Batanios, when it comes to fast days, Kama the Chayif Inshi, Daite Tfei Mali. When it comes to fast, then it's better for one to go ahead and I guess more to bow himself, and therefore you should a rounded one, and therefore that's better to use a rounded one than a straight one on a tinus. So we'll all right, we'll stop here. The 2 dots. Shkoyach everybody. So tomorrow, Mitzvah Shem, we will.